Hello guys, this is again Pavel Oskarov from Laravel Daily Team and Laravel Business YouTube channel. Weekly tradition of demo projects continues, and today I want to switch a little and make a little different thing. So we will not create a demo project, but instead I will show you example of mini project for data tables. Datatables.net is a JavaScript library. This here basically to view the tables and to do all the search, pagination, and order with JavaScript. So basically you have a lot of data, and instead of doing pagination yourself in Laravel, you just load the JavaScript library, which takes care of everything. And in this video, I will, for those who watched my previous videos, I will do a little different thing. I was always live coding with PHP Storm, and it took quite a lot of time. It took half an hour to make a mini project. Instead, I've created the project outside of this video, and I will show you the code. So I will save you time, and I will avoid some glitches and some bugs on live coding, which also takes your time to watch and to wait until I fix something. So the project is already created. It's actually on GitHub already. But I will show you step by step how to use data tables in Laravel basically. So let's begin. The project is a really simple one with one table with database table customers, first name, last name, and email, and ID timestamps. Then I've created a seeder for creating 50 random customers. Every customer is described with customer factory like this. So with library faker, we take first name, last name, and email, unique email, and just load it all into the table, which actually looks like this. That's the database. So that's the actual table we have after the seeding. There are 50 rows here, and yeah, that's the database layer. On the front end side, we have a simple Laravel project. The design comes from makeauth from Laravel. I just basically copied and pasted it into a simple view. And here we have three menu items. Simple table, so just Laravel table, just Blade table without any data tables, then with data tables, and then with Ajax, or in other words, it's called server-side rendering. And I will explain the difference. So in basic example, we have, let's open up our routes. So in basic example, we have, well, the same controller, home controller. And this is what we have in basic example. We load all customers and we view the table. So in table Blade, we have simply this one. We extend the same app layouts, which comes actually with default Laravel auth. And we just load the table with for each loop. Nothing fancy here, just showing the entries. And this is how it looks. You load the table. There are 50 entries, no pagination, no search, no anything, just simple table, 50 entries. Now data tables, how does it work and how does it look? Let's click data tables. And this is the example. So the same, actually, the same controller thing, almost the same, almost identical actually. We load all customers, we load a different view, different Blade file with the same customers. And how it looks in the view. So there's a little more JavaScript here. So basically the same table, that part didn't change at all, but we add style from data tables in styles. And by the way, the app, I will show you the app layout so you would understand. App layout has a thing called yield styles on the top and yield JavaScripts at the bottom, and also has jQuery preloaded. So in every Blade view we can add section styles and section JavaScripts. So in styles we have data table styles, which comes actually from default installation. Basically, if you go to data tables manual, I think it is installation. So that's those two lines that we need here. No, actually the CDN, we're using CDN version. So we have CSS and we have one line of JavaScript. So that's exactly what we're doing here. We add CSS and we add JavaScript. And then the data tables is initialized actually by this line. So hash data table corresponds to ID data table here, and it just loads data table method to all the table, which visually transforms the basic table which was shown before to this one with pagination, with search. We can search for like Faye, for example. It works with JavaScript. We can have pagination, so all data is preloaded. The whole table is preloaded actually, and when we're clicking here, it just reloads internally without reloading the page, which is perfect. But there is another way of loading the JavaScript, loading the table actually. Not preload the whole table, the whole customers, but preload only the part of it with API. And it's called AJAX or server-side data tables. It looks like this, basically. I'm not sure if you see that, the processing part. So if I click here, see processing for a fraction of a second, and only then data is shown. And the main bit here is when we click, for example, page 2, only then the processing loading thing comes, and then the server gets the request for page 2. So the data isn't loaded up front, isn't preloaded, but it is loaded only that part on the request. So in this case, we request, please server give us page 3 of the data. And that's how it works in the code. In controller, we don't have to load anything. We just load the blade file, customer Ajax. Let's open this one. And then in the table, we don't load anything here either. Oh, by the way, important notice. Please, if you use data tables, don't forget t-head and t-body thing, otherwise data tables wouldn't work. The structure should be the correct HTML. So yeah, we don't load anything in body of the table. Instead, we're loading it here. So with data table functionality, we add a few parameters. So these two, processing is true and server side is true, and Ajax is the actual route we will call to get the data. And these are the columns that we will actually show. Now, route API customers index, it's in API routes PHP. I've created separate API controller. For bigger projects, it should probably separate /API/ customers controller or something, but I simplified here. So API controller. For API controller, I return the data for customers. For that, I use a package called data tables. Actually, Laravel data tables, this one. Not sure how to pronounce that thing. Yaira data tables, Laravel data tables, which is a really simple package. It's just basically, if we go to Composer JSON, it's this one. And with Laravel 5.5, we don't need to add anything to config app, no facades, no services. So it's really simple to install. You just add this, and basically you're good to go. So Composer requires this, and then you can have this line in your controller. Important thing here, information in default package documentation is kind of outdated on GitHub. So if you try to use these, they will work, but maybe not optimized enough. Please refer to the official link of yarabox.com, and if you go here to like demo application, this is the code that is better to use. So, but in my case, my code is this. So I construct the query. The query, notice here I don't use get or all or anything like that here. I just construct the query, and the query is the parameters for data table. There are some more parameters. I won't dig deeper here. A lot of options. You can load the same data by using Eloquent collection, DB table, query builder, whatever. It's basically the same thing, just in different syntax. So yeah, I load the query and I pass the query to data tables, and the result of that is actually a JSON. So if we go into our table. We load that again, and I will show you how it actually works. We load Chrome Developer Tools, and in the Network tab, one of the requests should be /customers something. So this is actually what happens. /Ajax, this one, calls the page itself, which loads the table, the empty table without any data, and then at some point the Ajax call goes to /customers. And not only /customers, but it adds the data tables adds a lot of fields here. So what columns to load, what search parameters are there, what is the page, what is the pagination, and stuff like that. And the result of that, the response of that, is actually this thing. So data tables has some kind of a structure here, so which draw it is, number 1 or number 2, total amount of records, and then the data is presented in JSON format. And then it is automatically formatted by data tables JavaScript. Now, why am I doing two things? Data table simple and data tables Ajax. They are looking almost the same, and what is the advantage of using Ajax? The advantage comes for bigger amount of data. So now we're playing with 50 entries, 50 customers, and there's no difference basically visually. You don't see the difference whether I load simple table, data tables, or Ajax. The load is pretty much the same. Now let's try 5,000. In our factory, no, not factory, the Cedar database, Cedar, let's change 50 to 5,000. Let's clean up the database, delete all the tables, force delete, and run migration again. Migrate from scratch with seed. I've actually left the default Laravel tables, users, and password resets, and this is how much Cedar is taking now. Like, it's loading 5,000 entries into the database, but yeah, pretty quick. And now what we have here is customers, and we have 5,000 entries. I'll show you. So if we load by ID, order by ID, there are 5,000 entries. And what do we have now on the page? So if we load simple table, 1, 2, 3 seconds, and then some more front-end rendering, so something like 5 seconds for simple table to load with 5,000 entries. What about data tables? Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds. So it's loading the same table, the same 5,000 entries, and only then applies JavaScript to show only the 10 and apply all the search. It will actually work the same pretty quickly afterwards, but the first load of the table will be really slow, especially if you have much more complicated queries like with joins, a few tables, some append fields and stuff like that. And now let's try Ajax data tables. 1, 2, that's it. So like 1.5 seconds. So that's the main advantage of using server-side or Ajax data tables, because it's actually loading only 10 records from the server. It loads empty table and then asks the server, please give me 10 records, because it's page 1 of all the table. If I click 2, it's processing again. The data comes from the server, but it comes only 10 records, and only 10 records are to process. So whenever you use bigger tables and bigger amount of data, I strongly recommend to go Ajax way. And final thing I want to show you is in our quick admin panel. This will be some kind of advertisement, so you can I can call it presented by quick admin panel, this video. So in our quick admin panel for Laravel admin panel generator, we have that thing as a model, as a module. So in modules you can have Ajax data tables installed, and then by default the server-side data tables and Ajax data tables will be applied. I guess that's it for this video. I will put the project on GitHub. It's already there actually. I'll put the link here in the description of YouTube video, or you can copy it from here, like not copy from video, but you can see it here. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please add to YouTube comments, and see you in the next videos of Laravel Daily Video channel.